What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis. Coming to y'all with that quick analysis, we're going to talk about the playoff game in series of the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Washington Wizards, who got hot late in the schedule, won a couple games in a row, got a couple losses, won a couple more, and they ultimately got the job done and secured them a playoff spot with Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal as they backcourt. Bradley Beal has had his career best season, great from efficiency, a little hampered right now. Not the Bradley Beal in the beginning of the year because of the hamstring injury, but they have to go out there and perform. They made it to the playoffs. They put in a lot of work to get here. Now it's just about getting the job done, and that's going to be the question: will they be able to beat this runner-up to the MVP, Joel Embiid, playing his best basketball this year? We're gonna talk about the Sixers. Doc Rivers has had this team play spectacular with a lot of injuries and a lot of things going on with this team throughout this entire year. He allowed these guys to stay focused. He allowed these guys to be who they are, and he allowed these guys to thrive in that role. And Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid have missed a lot of time. Tobias Harris has stepped up and played a pretty good season, probably his best season of his career. Didn't make the All Star team, but continued to play hard, continued to go out there and put in the work. You got to give credit to Danny Green, still one of the best perimeter defenders. Also played well off of the stars, Ben Simmons, Tobias, and Joel Embiid, and knocked down threes. Knocked down threes and made plays when it was necessary. Seth Curry was an ideal fit, a guy that can defend while also giving you elite three-point shooting and a little bit of shot creation from time to time if you need him to do that. And he has been spectacular for him. I'm proud of him continuing to work, becoming a starter, and playing on the number one team in the Eastern Conference. Ben Simmons is going to be crucial in this series, putting a good big guy that can guard guys like Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal one-on-one and make it tough and difficult by putting a big body that can stay in front of them and having guys like Joel Embiid that can rotate and help and keep them out of the paint and force them to take lone jumpers and threes will be spectacular for them if that's their game plan. Not only that, I will also say when you look at the Philadelphia 76ers, they also have Danny Green and Matisse Thybulle that can throw out there as perimeter defenders that they can also put on them individually, but also as help defenders to play in the passing lane and contest shots and make it tough on a team like Washington. So it's going to be interesting to see what Scott Brooks do. I know Philly's going to want to slow it down and make it ugly. Wizards struggle like that. They showed that the last 2 years they just want to get up and take a lot of shots, get a lot of easy opportunities just to try to, balance out the weakness in their roster, and it's going to be important for them to remain true to that. Run when they can, make quick decisions when they can to score on this tough, stout Philadelphia defense. And I feel like this is the perfect matchup. I disagree with a lot of people. This is the perfect matchup for the Sixers. I think this is an easy series for them. I think this is a sweep. To get my prediction out early for them, they have nobody that can stop Joel Embiid. Alex Len is not a starter. Robin Lopez is solid, but he's not a starter anymore in his career. Davis Bertans, you don't really know what you're going to get out of him. Russell Westbrook, he'll shoot you in the game, shoot you out of the game, and he'll lose you a game. He has done that through the last couple weeks. He has done that even in the play-in games, and he has done it throughout his entire career. Bradley Beal has been a huge performer in the playoffs, but like I said, with the hamstring injury and a lot of guys that they can throw on him as double teams in individually, it's going to be tough for him to be able to create shots for a whole series consistently. And not alone, especially when you don't have reliable three-point shooting. The Wizards are not a great three-point shooting team. Guys like Bertans and Bill and Ish Smith and those guys can knock them down, but they don't do it consistently, and they don't really get hot enough to be able to offset. And when you got guys that can stay with them and guys that can contest and guys that can rotate and help and stay on the string, it makes it even difficult for this team to score if they're not keeping it up pace, and they're not taking advantage of easy opportunities. That's what Russell Westbrook is gonna have to come into play. If he's not gonna be able to make shots, he has to be aggressive. They're gonna need aggressive Russ, because I don't think this team has enough firepower. I don't think this team has enough scoring if they're not running. And Russ is gonna have to initiate the pace. He's gonna have to control the pace, and he's gonna have to find guys early and often. If not, if this game is slow, I can't really trust Bill versus the world. I can't really trust Russell Westbrook, because his scoring has always been inconsistent from day one in the NBA to now. And he can't get easy buckets. Uh, if he can't get easy buckets, it's going to be trouble for him. I think that this team is really bad. I feel like the Wizards was bad all year. That's why they had to fight their way into the A spot, and they struggled to keep it, as they have lost that game, and they was able to beat a Pacers team that didn't even have T.J. Warren or Karis LeVert or anything. So I look at this as an easy series for Philly. I think they have the best matchup. Their best players can defend and make it tough on the Wizards. Their best players thrive against smaller guys. This team like to go small. They don't really have a lot of size on the perimeter, and the guys that they are not known as great defenders, or never have been, or never even try hard enough consistently to be one. If I had to be honest and truthful about that, the Wizards have been a bad defensive team for multiple years, and this year is the same, and that hasn't changed. Even last year they was bad, and they had a chance to get in the play, but it just didn't happen, mainly because John Wall was down. But you have to give them credit. They didn't give up. They kept fighting. They stayed together throughout all the turmoil and all the chaos, and they was able to still make the playoffs. And I think that that's a huge accomplishment for them. But nobody really looked at the Wizards as a team that really was going to do some damage, and they pretty much showed that the entire year. I don't really think that that's going to change now that they're in the playoffs and they're going against a team like Philly. If I'm Philly, I want to make this a quick and easy, slow death. I want to be able to go out here, be focused, be locked in, and really be engaged, because this game prepares you for the next series. And it's going to be tougher, going into the second round for Philly, and they have struggled getting out of the second round. This team with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid and Tobias has made it out of the first round already. I think they do it again. I don't really see a way that the Wizards can win this series unless major injuries happen, and even then, they still could be competitive against this team, just because you don't really know what type of Wizard team you're going to get, and they have been like that the entire year, and I don't really see that changing either. But to me, the main key for Philly is to continue the good habits, continue to play together, continue to trust each other, and don't lose sight of that. Don't get caught up in the talking. Don't get caught up in the ego. Don't get caught up in the, 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 the the craziness that could go on in the series. Just go out there, handle your business, put them away early if you can, and continue to play like that. Get it done early. Rest your best players, and be ready to go, for the second round. And I feel the same way, like I said, about Brooklyn. Get this one done over. And I think that the Philadelphia 76ers will. Doc Rivers have been called into question for his coaching. He has been called into question for his playoff lineups and being over reliant and being too, fixated and biased on what he should do. I think that getting fired for the Clippers, made him change some things, and allowed him to, resurface himself a little bit. I don't really have a problem with the Sixers, this year. I feel like they have been better than I thought. They have been pretty good the entire year with and without Joel Embiid. I thought that that'd be tough, and then they start figuring that part out. So it's going to be interesting to see what this team does and how they come out. They can be a little lackadaisical, from time to time, and they can get a little complacent. Hopefully that they just get this thing over with, and really start, taking the game a little bit more serious. And if they do, starting this series the right way and having the right mentality, honestly and truthfully, maybe that'll help them, be ready for the tougher challenges in the Eastern Conference. But other than that, I got Philly in four. I don't really see a way that they don't sweep. I think that this should be one that they get done very quick. And I really think that they should be able to dominate this series. I feel like the Philly has been dominant when they have been on their best game. And I think that coming into the playoffs, they should continue that. and get this one done. I already know Joel Embiid don't like Russell Westbrook, so I already know he's going to be ready to talk and be ready to, showboat a little bit every time they win. But, maybe that motivates him to be dominant every single game, to send a message and to shut Russ up. And if he does that, this series should be over in four. He has been dominant. He should have been the MVP. But as we know, his durability has always been a question, and that's what probably cost him this year was that. Other than that, Joel Embiid, he went out in the first round last year. You know, he want to change that this year. Number one seed should be able to take care of the number eight, and now they just got to get the job done. Let me know what I got wrong, what I got right, what you agree or disagree with. Let me know what you predict in 5, 6, 7. Wizards pull up the upset. Let me know in the comment section below. Quinn Wade, basketball analyst, signing out. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I will be back with the 1-8 seed for the Western Conference tomorrow, and let playoff basketball start. Let's go. Hopefully we all get some great performances, and let's see if we can see a new champion this year. And will it be Philly? The fans are rocking. The fans are feeling it, and they did their thing the entire year. They even did better than what I thought this season. Now we got to see can they handle their business in the playoffs. That's what they continue to fall short at. Best thing to do, get it done early. Quinn Wade, I'm going.